Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Uchiha 7. I'm your host, Ruchi. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and like always, peace and love. Man, I just want to apologize to you guys about last week. I didn't drop an episode review after 225, so we're just going to do a short recap for 225, and then we're going to have a full review with episode 226. So I want you guys to sit back and relax and enjoy this episode. Um, Last Sunday was pretty cool. I think this was the first time in Boruto, as far as like friend lines, we got two significant characters, females, fighting against each other, which is very, very big in the Boruto universe. Not only are Chocho and Sarada best friends, but they come from unique clans, and I think that's very, very beautiful and was caught very well with the Boruto writers. Before we had Wasabe and Iwabe, which didn't have enough significance like this fight did, which is pretty cool. I was really happy to see Chocho and Sarada both. If you see previous, Chocho really wanted to become a tuning just to take that weight off of Shikadai and everything that he went through. He hasn't put on his best yet, just out of respect for um, his crew, and he just wanted to make sure that they felt as comfortable as possible. And I think they took that to offense and why they went super hard in the tunes. I think that Chocho, as a character, you love this because, she doesn't take a lot of things serious, but she took this serious, and I think that was an eye opener for not only me but the other the Boruto universe. Hopefully, she continues to grow. I mean, she gets better episodes than she did in the beginning of Boruto, which is kind of not the best episode. Me and my little brother talk about it all the time. They could have done so much more with her episodes, and they didn't. They failed to realize that. And I know, they want to have that slice of life and want to make it comedy, but come on, man, you're making a character like her not liked, and I think that you guys should do a better job of showing and showcasing her talents and her her growth. She doesn't take it serious, but 225 was very, very good for her. It showed that she was serious about becoming a tuning, and she was serious about the respect. And I think that's important, guys, is respect. Um, and we cut to Sarada, and Sarada's grown as a ninja, and it's amazing how much she's grown. And I love her as a character as well. Just from all of the arcs that she was a part of, and you can just see that she's slowly becoming one of the dopest characters in Boruto. I mean, she does a Chidori, Boruto does a backflip over her, and scenes like that is so amazing. Like you want to see more of that, and I love Sarada's character. She's grown on me as like probably my second favorite character um, in the Boruto universe, and I love it. And she has a flashback with her and Sasuke talking, and just about the commitment about being a ninja. And I think that's important to the young generation because they don't really know like what you have to do as a ninja. And there's so many things, so many sacrifices that you have to make. Case in point, Boruto. With everything that he has going on, she has to be okay with taking one of her good friends' life. And that weighs a lot on a person. You know, but back to the fight. Started off kind of slow paced. Sarada wasn't really into it. Chocho can tell, and I think that was important that Chocho can tell because that's her best friend. They just had a great scene before the fight. They wasn't expecting to fight each other, and now they're fighting each other. It's kind of like a wait, but Chocho's all go. Chocho's ready. Like she wants the action. She wants to become a tuning, and she wants to gain that respect from from Shikadai. You know, she wants to be one of the top dogs, and I feel like she brought that into the fight, which is important that Sarda didn't. And something that was really important that I loved was how Chocho basically stopped the fight and asked Sarda, like, what are you doing? You know, she hit Sarda into the wall, and she asked her, like, what are you doing? You know, you're not taking me serious. You got to take me serious. And it was beautiful. It was so beautiful that they did that because Chocho in her previous episodes, you don't take her serious. She's a person who eats a lot and makes jokes about everything and just fantasizes about boys. But today she came with the hands. Like she wanted the action. And I love that. And they captured it so well. And not only is Chocho a little bit more advanced than where Choji was, but she seems like she has a full grasp of all of all of the jutsus that her clan has, and it's awesome. It's so amazing, man. But her and Sarah start getting going after it, you know, and it's beautiful how they capture the scene between two friends, like to the point like they started loving fighting each other. Like it was it was awesome, man. I really enjoyed it, and you know, finished off the fight. Chocho was defeated. Chocho wanted more for herself. You know, she wanted to do more for her team. She wanted to do more for Shikadai, and I think that was an important loss for her because this is going to make her grow as a ninja. And I hope that she takes it more serious and move forward and starts to lift herself up because she's a dope character and she can do some great things. She can do some really great things. And Sarda ended up winning. And it was a great episode. I love how they captured the scene between both friends and uh, you know, hand to hand combat. The jutsus was beautiful, like the scenery. One thing about Boruto, the last few episodes, matter of fact, the last few arcs, man, they caught like the beauty in these episodes, and it's awesome, and I love it. And I feel like that's really important as far as going forward going forward with Boruto is that they captured these beautiful moments. This was something that they couldn't just skip over. Like this is two best friends fighting against each other. And then later on, within the episode, we get Boruto and Mitsuki, and they're basically wanting to see what Amato has planned, and they end up helping Amato escape from this little gang, and it's weird. I was expecting more from that. If you're going to take away from Boruto and Mitsuki not fighting, I think that's I don't know because you're taking the scene away from the other characters who are fighting for something that was just drawn out and didn't mean anything. Now, granted, the anime does a great job of placing these little plot holes into the anime later on where you're just like, what the heck? So hopefully it means something, and I really hope it does because if it doesn't, then it's just a waste, Then because you could have done more with Chocho versus Sara, like you could have done a lot more, and then you get an interaction with Shinki and Kawaki. I think this was one of the Shinki's probably my third favorite character on Boruto, and then it's probably Kawaki. But that interaction between the two, Shinki's just that guy, man. He's just that guy. Oh my goodness, I love his character. He's so dope and he's awesome. I love his jutsus. I love his character design. And him and Kawaki kind of fill each other out. And granted, Kawaki doesn't have the karma seal anymore, so they were testing each other out, and he basically babied Kawaki. Like he babied this man, and it was awesome, bro. I loved it. I love that interaction between the two. And it wasn't really something that was super significant, but it was something cool for the Boruto fans to see in the potential future. That hey, if these two meet, that is gonna be on and popping, right? And I think they did a good job bringing Shinky because I think a lot of people miss Shinky in the anime, especially like the last time him and Boruto seen each other, they were basically taking on a Suitsuki, and it was clean as heck. Like that's one of my favorite arcs. Like that's an amazing arc, and just how they were fighting together and they meshed really, really well. Um, but yeah, man, I really loved it. It was awesome. Hopefully we get more interactions between Kawaki and Shinki, or just more interaction with Shinki. I want to see some missions with him, and just see his growth and what he's learned as far as a ninja, and just his character development. And that's pretty much episode 225. Not too crazy, but a beautiful episode. I give this episode a 9 out of 10. Let's give it an 8 out of 10 because I feel like they wasted the whole thing with Boruto and Mitsuki um, chasing Armado and making sure he's not doing anything strange and wishing more because I wanted to see more interaction between Sarda and Chocho, but they did a pretty good job of with the condensed time that they had, and the beauty of the episode. You know, if it wasn't for that, the episode would have easily been a 7. But I give it an 8 out of 10. It was beautiful. I loved it. Loved everything about it. Wish there was more as far as Sarda and Chocho, but things happen. Hopefully, along the line, it gets better. So then we jump into episode 226. This episode caught me by surprise, and I'm pretty sure it did the same thing for everybody else. You get Dinky versus, excuse me, I always mispronounce her name, Tsugupi. I'm sorry, the samurai girl. And she's super awesome. Uh, love her. Um, I'm glad that they did a lot with her and they brought her into Naruto because I know that a lot of people probably wanted to see more with samurais, and that was a big thing for them. So that I'm glad they brought her here, and I'm glad that she's a part of the Boruto fandom. Now let's hop into 226. You know, subtle episode, build up between the two. The samurai girl basically has a lot going on. She wants to go back to basically from the island where she's from, and Wasabe and her other teammate do not want her to leave. They basically lost Sumire, and it's been basically tough for her. This would be basically a second person that they're losing, who they're grown very fond of. At first they really didn't mesh together, but now they're like super close. Um, and she doesn't want to stay. Obviously, she wants to leave, and that's pretty much the beginning of the episode with her. And then um, kind of just talking about it, and then you can kind of tell like she has her social cues aren't the best because she wasn't really paying attention to their facial expressions. Like when she said it, like she made it seem like that they were super happy for her, and she didn't realize that, which was kind of weird. Because if I'm saying that I'm gonna go someplace and that I don't want to be here no more, and my friends look at me like, "Oh, okay, well, we're wishing nothing but the best," I can feel that, and the fact that she did not feel that was kind of weird to me. But later on they addressed it on the episode, which is pretty good. So, and then we get Dinky in front of the episode, at the beginning of the episode, kind of explaining that he prepared to fight um, Mitsuki and Boruto, but he was probably going to have trouble with the samurai girl because he can't really read her movements. He's never fought her before, and he's never seen her fight. So it's kind of her being a samurai would be hard for him to kind of read her movements because he knows everything about a ninja, of course. So that was a big thing, a big thing that they dropped in there. And then we get Boruto and Mitsuki trying to make it back on time to basically fight each other because they're basically up and ready. They have to fight. It's their turn to go. And unfortunately, they don't make it in time, and so they move on to the next fight, which will be Dinky versus the Samurai Girl. So, like, that was a huge, huge miss. Ugh, huge miss, man. I wanted to see that fight. Wanted to see that fight. That would have probably been the best fight, um, as far as the tunings. And I'm not just talking Boruto. I'm talking OG Naruto. Like that fight would have been so clean, but I get why they did it. You see why they do it. They didn't want to take away from Dinky and the Samurai Girl. They didn't want to take away from the other ninjas. It's been Boruto, 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 who's been shine after shine after shine, cool scenes after cool scenes, arc after arc, and they wanted to kind of address and have the shine drift to um, the other ninjas, the younger generation, his classmates, and I thought that was pretty cool. Um, so we get to the fight, and Boruto and them makes it, and of course, everybody's like, Sarda's kind of grilling them for not making it on time and telling them basically you're disqualified, you can't fight. So we get to the fight, and it's Dinky versus Samurai Girl. Samurai Girl pulls up, Dinky pulls up in a suit, scientific ninja tool, and you're sitting there thinking like, bruh, are they really finna do this, man? Like, are they really finna start letting the tuning exams have scientific ninja tools? Like, are we really finna go there? I kind of like the OG ninjas and, you know, no scientific ninja tools. It's just straight hand to hand combat and jutsus, excuse me. And that's what I love. And you appreciate that as an OG Naruto fan. And, it was pretty cool seeing something different, you know. Um, But the fight starts off, and Dinky's kind of reading her movements, and he's doing a pretty good job. He's holding his own. She can't really hit him, and everybody's just amazed because Dinky has come a long way. If you know Dinky, he was basically he couldn't make it over a wall. Like he's grown as a character, and you love to see it. Granted, it's the scientific ninja tool, but you love to see his seriousness and just how he wants to become a tuning for his squad. Like he wants to do this, and you love that. You love that for him. You love the growth for him, and you love that he's growing as a person. And so you see it, and man, they're going at it. She's trying to hit him. She can't hit him, and Dinky is just doing his best. And then she said, you can't hit me, you can't basically play defense all day. You're gonna have to fight me eventually because you're not gonna basically beat me like that. And Dinky shows her this five move, and it looks like Chidori a little bit, but it's not. And he pulls up, and it's just like, okay, now it's on and popping. And we get a good animation with this episode as well. The fight is going on between the two, and they're dodging, swinging, and it's beautiful. It's a great episode. They did a really good job with the tuning exams, and I'm loving it. And um, I just keep saying I love this episode because it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. Um, and then you see that the samurai girl starts to pick up on the movement, starts to realize, hold on, she swung at him, and then she just swung at him again, just out of instinct, and she hits him. And she realized, you know, she basically realized that with his glasses, that's how he's reading the movements. And then she just starts doing these dope moves, and there's one thing about me, I love swords, man. I love swords, and I love a person that really knows how to use a sword. And characters that really know how to use a sword is it's always awesome, you know. And you watch that, and she's just hammering, destroying Dinky, and his scientific ninja tool basically overheats, and this is where the animation gets super good. And he realized he has one last move, and this is where it caught everybody by surprise. The samurai girl pulls up, thinking he does like this backflip, throws the broken scientific ninja tool in her face, and he flips back, lands on his feet, lands on all fours, and he performs this dope move, override, pulls up, basically looks like the Hyuga clan, hits the samurai girl dead on, and knocks her out. And Dinky wins. He wins. That is wild. He wins. And you're just sitting there like, what the heck, man? What the heck? And everybody's celebrating with him, and you love that. I mean, I love that character development with Dinky that shows his growth. You know, dope line. He said, I didn't say that I couldn't use jutsus. He just said he wasn't a master at them, basically, and hits her head on. Let's go, Dinky. Let's give a round of applause for Dinky, man. Let's give a round of applause for him. That's awesome. I love that because now with them doing that, I can only imagine his potential. He's not going to be amazing, but he's going to probably be a very calculated dude going forward. And I think that's important because you got Shikadai as one of the genies on in Boruto. Now we got Dinky. Even though Dinky can't fight as good, I feel like he's gonna bring a lot to the table, you know? And I love that, and everybody's celebrating. And then we get, some scenes with um, the family celebrating and the friends celebrating. And then we get into the end of the episode. And this is where I feel like we got robbed. Oh my gosh, we got robbed. Mitsuki and before that, Naruto and Kawaki have a scene which is pretty cool, and Kawaki's basically saying that he's going to start off as a Genin, and Naruto, it makes him chuckle, and then we get a cutscene with Mitsuki and Boruto, and they meet up at the fighting grounds, man, and they're basically going to have one of those one-on-one scenes that will probably never get animated, and we're left with a cliffhanger. Oh my goodness. When the episode ended with that, I was livid, man. I was livid. I was like, oh my gosh, they missed so much. Like you understand why they did it, but you could have at least made the last part a little bit. Let us see a little bit, just a little bit. But all in all, the episode was a seven. I would say 7 out of 10. I would say 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Uh, it wasn't the best. Um, Pretty cool episode. Love Dinky's character development. The Samurai Girl is not leaving anymore. Those are cool scenes, man. Um, was it the best episode? No, but it was an entertaining episode, I would say. So 7 out of 10. Moving on to 227. 227 is looking like a filler episode. Uh, don't know what to expect. Hopefully, I get the preview and some scans this week. So we'll do that and we'll get into that. So yeah, man, love this episode. Love this interaction between Dinky and the Samurai Girl and the team. Um, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And like always, peace and love.